Hey guys, Thinking here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we got a bunch of EX missions added for the FRIEZA Wicked Bloodline stage. I'm going to go through multiple runs here in this video. I'm going to show all of the missions being completed just to show you guys what they are, how I did them with my teams. Hopefully it gives you some ideas if you are struggling to do them yourselves. Do let me know how you got on with those down below. But yeah, we're just going to jump straight in and start doing them here now. Alright, so Planetary Destruction. So 6 Planetary Destruction characters, no items for this mission. Shouldn't be too bad. And we've got the new worldwide Broly characters. I obviously don't have Int Broly, but we're using him as a friend. We're using STR LR Cooler on the team. Been a while since we've used him. But obviously with this being an older event like the FRIEZA Red Zone, he should be fine. I mean, if he eats a super at the very end from Full Power FRIEZA, he actually might take some damage, I'm not really sure, but so yeah, let's do that. We can't use his domain straight away because we've got Toles on the rotation, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, we also have, of course, there is a mission to do the whole thing in 7 turns. Depending on how this goes with the Brolys, we probably could do that at the same time as the Planetary Destruction one. But yeah, obviously for this video we'll go through all of the missions. We're just going to start off with Planetary Destruction. I don't know how many phases it is that he has. Is it 7? Because like you'd have to 1 turn every phase, like if that was the case. So yeah, I mean, I guess we could just do this. Get those for you, so everyone gets that bit of support. Yeah, you practically have to 1 turn every phase, so Namek Saga will be difficult when it comes to that, potentially. But probably should have just transformed Tech Broly. Is it 5 phases? Oh yeah, of course it is, because yeah, Frieza only has so many forms, right? Not counting Golden Frieza. But yeah, I didn't need to transform Tech Broly. It's funny to see Cooler being one of the weaker units on the team, but obviously no big bad bosses. I think he might literally only have Fierce Battle, to be fair, active with that Broly, so. Use the active skill, get the domain up. Because the domain only lasts for a couple of turns, but we're trying to get it done in a short amount of turns anyway, so. Do that. Yeah, it's nice that they do go back and add these like missions to older stuff, because like this used to be a good showcase stage because it was relatively long, but obviously now, because it's weaker compared to some of the harder events and some of the newer units, like it wouldn't last that long if you were trying to showcase like units on the Broly team, for example. So it's a stage that I probably wouldn't have like gone back to play really anymore at any point. So that is one of the cool things about them adding these older missions. But yeah, see, now we got this Broly that's going to have type advantage, so there's the 4 rainbow orbs for this guy, so not only does everyone else get the massive amount of support, but he gets 2 additional supers guaranteed. We've got the full 24 key for the Toles army, so I can't see this Frieza lasting very long here. I saved 1 in Broly active for Full Power Frieza. I did 4 of his health bars with just that, yeah. Because he is tech, isn't he? Yeah, double digit damage. Let's see what STR Broly does here. 19.7 mil. And then yeah, we have 2 more guaranteed, and then we could have get the potential extra one as well. But obviously, FRIEZA's just going to be dead by then. Oh, and of course Tech Broly as well. Oh, this turn's going to be stupid. Cooler just chilling. He hasn't really done anything, but you know. But yeah, the double Broly setup here is going to be Tech Broly active skill turn with the domain up as well. FRIEZA's about to get crushed. Last ditch effort attempt. I mean, Broly has guard at this point, obviously, and has 60% damage reduction anyway. But he dodges the super from full power FRIEZA. Alright, and then Tech Broly. Active skill turn with the domain buff as well. 59.6 million. Man, Tech Broly's so good. Yeah. Cooler is just that he thinks he's on the team meme. He got to attack, what, once? He did one 18 key super at the very beginning, and that was basically it. Alt timeline where the Super Saiyan who awakens on Namek is Broly. That'd be wild. But yeah, there you go. So that's the Planetary Destruction mission. No real surprise that that wasn't that difficult. And that will also complete us the 7 turns mission as well. So yeah, Planetary Destruction is a crazy team. And when you think that like the Tech Broly is the only new unit on the team for me, because the Int Broly's the friend. Yeah, the easy A's for those Brolys from the Worldwide Celebration, definitely very good. You could use the Int TUR Broly as a stand-in movie boss's leader. As much as everybody memes on him, I do think his easy A is like, whilst it's not great, I do think it is a little bit underrated. But for something like that FRIEZA event, he's going to be more than good enough. So there's those 2 missions completed, and we will move on to the next ones. Okay, so next up we are going to do the full AGL team. This one you do need to do in 9 turns. So not only do you have to think about bringing obviously all units that are AGL, but you also have to think about prioritizing units that can actually do damage, right? So units like UI Goku, who not only will be good defensively, well, obviously at first we get that guaranteed dodge, but of course has very high crit chance. Gohan stacks attack, so I think we probably should let him get the first attack off here. It is possible that he just one-shots FRIEZA anyway, so good idea to let him go first here, I think. Get the unit super with the Gotenks as well. Gotenks and Piccolo are on the team just because they are another unit that fit under the Angel Goku's leader skill. And they can do okay damage. Like, they're not a terrible unit. They're obviously not like... I think they're probably the worst unit on the team, I guess. But, you know, they can still be pretty good. We've got this Goku rotation. Obviously, we don't really ideally want the full Goku rotation, but these guys are going to be very good. The Super ECA Goku obviously does get weaker as the event goes on, but we're trying to get through it within a short amount of time anyway. So hopefully he should be fine. Obviously AGL Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku is a very, very good unit. Probably save the active skills for near the end, so we can just use those to try and blitz the final phase, because obviously the mission is for doing it with a full AGL team, and of course full power FRIEZA in the final phase is tech and can hit relatively hard. Like, for when this event first came out, even though he was the first stage, like, he could hit decently hard with his super. So we definitely want to make sure that we're not getting caught out in that final phase. But Angel Goku in slot 3 obviously gets extra attack power, so take out FRIEZA. This is what we want to try and do as well in the early couple of turns, because you do get more turns than some of the other missions. It is 9 turns, but we want to try and get these early phases done in 1 turn if we can, right? I've also got Gamma 2 on the team. Now, it's not a great setup for him in terms of like links and stuff like that, but obviously he is a unit that can get a bunch of additional attacks, builds up crit chance. So in a turn where he potentially pops off, he can do a lot of damage, right? So That's what we'll be hoping for. But we will just be floating him. He does provide a little bit of support as well, which is nice. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. UI Goku and Gohan together. As long as we start getting some additionals, we could do some decent damage. But no additional super from UI Goku is definitely disappointing here. But yeah, we've only got, what is it, 5 phases. So there's a couple of the phases we can afford to spend 2 turns if we have to. But ideally we do get through these early ones as quickly as possible. We 1-turned the first 2 phases, so that's what we're looking for. Additional from Gohan with the crit. We get a normal, and then another normal, another normal. Gamma 2 might actually be able to finish him off here, as long as he doesn't only do like 1 super. Should hopefully be able to finish him off. And then we keep moving through 1 turn per phase, which is what we want. Please do an additional super. Okay, good. We need this guy to get built up, but we also want to finish him off this turn. So yeah, this should take him out here. He's building up his crit chance as he goes as well, so more likely to do more damage as we get a little bit further through. But there we go. We take out third form Frieza, get the KO screen for Gamma 2, and then here we are at the AGL final form Frieza. So yeah, we'll keep the super attack for you, or active skill I should say, ready to go. Can I get 2 orbs with Piccolo and Gotenks here? No. They do get extra dodge when key is 12, so I probably will just give them the full key then here for the final slot. And yeah, Goku on the second turn goes down to, what, 60% damage reduction. Got a couple of attacks off in the first turn, so he's still at around a very reasonable amount of damage reduction. The other Goku, of course, I think, did he get to attack at the end of the first rotation? I think he did, actually, so he's got a little bit of extra damage reduction, because he's going to be our slot 1 unit for the next turn, which could be a bit risky against the full power Frieza if he does decide to super attack straight away in slot 1. But it depends whether we get through to the next phase or not on this next turn. I think this is one of those ones, now that we're at this phase, we can afford to not do this one in 1 turn. And then this Goku will be on the rotation for the first turn against Tech Frieza. Use his active skill, get the post-super defense. And then, yeah, hopefully just come in clutch with those crits and do some decent damage. Piccolo and Gotenks getting the dodges, that's what we like to see. I don't really want to float off any of these guys, to be honest. UI, I would say, is probably more useful than the Gohan, I suppose. But let's do that, and then we'll do that. I'm not going to get to the Dokkan attack either, I don't think, which is a bit of a shame. That would certainly come in handy as well to do some big extra damage against the Tech Frieza phase, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's the crit, and there's the additional super, which will be a guaranteed crit. That's what we need to see in the next phase, right? Because now we're at the point where our team, unless we're doing crits, we're not going to be doing like damage, right? So let's see. So full power Frieza, he's got a couple of attacks in slot 1, so we'll go ahead and use this so that you get your extra defense here. Do some decent damage as well. Still 135. He's got about, what? He drops down to 30, but he's attacked a few times. He's probably got around 50% damage reduction, I would say, which I don't know if that is enough for him to tank. I mean, he has guard as well, but I don't know how much he's going to take from a big super if he were to take one here in slot 1. Eats the normals for double digits, that's what we like to see. And then relatively good attack stat. We could run the risk of putting the super easy A Goku in slot 1, because then this guy gets extra attack power in slot 2. So with him firing off these supers and getting potential crits with those higher attack stats, that would obviously help us get through a little bit quicker, but I'm not sure how I feel about trusting the super easy A Super Sentai Goku in slot 1. Of course I say that and now watch him get supered in slot 2, but there you go. Angel Goku getting those crits. 3 supers means he got a decent amount of defense. Do we live this? Yeah, okay, it takes double digit damage, never mind. And then Super Easy A Goku, 14 mil. No crit though, sadly. Finally gets an additional super though. This is first additional super of the run. Still no crit. 63k from normals is a bit of a yikes. And then we need Gamma 2 to get quite a few supers off as well here, really, in order to have enough defense to survive. Not sure how much he would take from normals from this full power Frieza if he doesn't get any additional supers, but there's at least one more. Can we get another crit here? If he gets another crit, if he gets a crit and then supers again, we're going to be getting pretty close to taking him out here. We've got an additional normal, of course. 136k. Oof. Very close to the bone right there, but we do have the revive with UI Goku, so we know we're not going to die this turn. We can fire off the active skill here from the other Angel Goku, and that gets the crit and takes him out. So there you go. That is the full AGL team. 6 AGL units within 9 turns. You want to prioritize the units that can do crits, because the last thing you want is to get to that last stage and then get stuck where like none of the units are critting, and so no one's doing any damage, and you end up like, even if you do win the stage, you end up going past that 9th turn, right? So that should be that mission done, and now we can go ahead and collect that one here. But yeah, let me know what you guys used for your AGL builds. I was thinking about like a AGL Broly lead, because he has like transformation boost and some other stuff, so his leader skill would be relatively decent, but he's missing some of these units like the UI Goku and stuff like that. So there's the AGL mission done. Let me know what you guys used, and let's jump into the next one. Okay, so now we're going to jump in and do the Gifted Warriors mission. This one should be quite straightforward. This is a very good team. I've decided to do a build that is full Super Saiyans as well, using the Tech Vegeta as the lead, because then we can use the physical Goten and Trunks, and they will always have a rotation of Super Saiyans, so their passive will be fully active at all times. It's kind of funny, like, looking at this team compared to the one that we'll do as the final mission, the Namek Saga, just how much better this team is. And the mission for this team, whilst you have to use no items like you do with the other missions, there's no turn restriction. So this team is considerably better than the Namek Saga team, and you don't have to worry about how many turns you're taking. So this should be pretty straightforward. Gifted Warriors pretty much incorporates every single Vegeta unit in the game. Bunch of like Piccolos are on there, I think. I know that it was that Worthy Rivals I'm getting confused with. Trunks and Goten are on there. Broly's on there, so the AGL Anniversary Broly. And of course, you know, Gifted Warriors is a category that is not the craziest, but with all the Vegetas being on there, it's, you know, going to be pretty straightforward. Even units like, I didn't bring the INT LR Blue Evolution Vegeta. Like, there's just so many units that we could put on here that would be really, really good. We got both the Tech Vegetas on the first turn, which is a little bit annoying, because obviously we... I mean, I suppose, to be fair, with this one, the event will be over fairly quickly, so we don't really need to worry about how much stacking they will or won't be doing. So, 200k for Goten and Trunks. AoE is definitely not their forte for sure, but everything else, I mean, all of these guys will take normals for double digits regardless, so we should be all good here. Of course, Vegeta, I mean, I guess if there was a turn restriction, it might make it a little bit more awkward for this team, because Vegeta does need to stack before he starts doing some serious damage. And then, of course, we could transform him if we wanted to as early as possible to start doing the bigger damage, get the crits, use the active skill, that kind of stuff. But, I mean, Goten and Trunks do a lot of damage themselves anyway. And because we've made the team to have the full Super Saiyans line up, they obviously have the damage reduction, and they can hit relatively hard anyway. So, probably should be taking out Frieza this turn, depending on what Vegeta does here crit-wise. But I don't think it even matters at this point, right? I think this super just takes him out anyway. So yeah, Gifted Warriors, this one definitely, I suppose it goes without saying for all these category missions. I was going to say this one's definitely one of the easier ones, but then I suppose it does depend on your box and what your options are for Gifted Warriors. But, I mean, yeah, this one definitely, let's let Super Vegeta have some shine here. Watch me regret this as he immediately gets, like, supered in slot 1 or something, but... Let's do that, and then we'll do that. Of course he did. How much are we taking from this? Okay, 65k. I mean, this event is a lot older, right? So, I mean, I guess we shouldn't expect him to take too much damage, but then we get the big attack off, guaranteed crit. We get the additional, sadly only a normal, and then of course that allows Broly to then just do his thing here, get a bunch of supers off. The Tech Vegeta from Battle of Gods can still be okay in some of these events. He's better against movie boss characters, and obviously, you know, doesn't actually provide any support until he gets hit a few times, but he's just another Vegeta that we can put on the team. Like I say, you could have easily put in someone like Blue Evolution Vegeta instead, but yeah, like almost every Vegeta is on the category. So you've got a lot of options. If you pulled the new Vegeta, then of course he's on there as well. He is a unit that needs to stack, so for the ones that have the turn restrictions, he's probably not the best choice, but of course for this one we don't have that, so he should be fine. Sadly though, no crits for this guy means no... Did he dodge that third attack, so now he's not giving the support? That's crazy. Right, Gotenks going to transform. So then we just do this. And then we call that a day there for third form Frieza. And we can move on to the final form Frieza. So, because I don't think we even need to crit here for Vegeta to finish him off. 5.2. Should probably be enough. I don't know. I mean, type advantage really does make a huge difference, like type disadvantage. If you're not critting with type disadvantage, you can be hitting, I mean, he wasn't there on that turn, but you can be hitting high attack stats and still doing, like, basically no damage, because the type disadvantage really does cut that down. So, I guess we will... I mean, we might as well... I suppose we do buff Frieza. I was going to say, we might as well... But we might as well transform Broly anyway, because it buffs the Tech Vegeta. And then we're just going to float off Super Vegeta now anyway. Super Vegeta probably won't get another turn. So I was going to say I could use his active skill here, but I mean, I don't think he's going to even get to attack. But he's not going to get another turn, so might as well use it just in case somehow Frieza is still alive when it gets to the end of the rotation here. But I can't see it happening. Tech Vegeta with the buff from the domain, obviously taking double-digit damage from the super, and then 6.1. I mean, Broly fits very, very well on this Vegeta team. The Tech Vegeta is still a great team. I'm going to do a video a little bit later because a lot of people have asked me about Tech Vegeta and whether he's worth picking up with red coins. I do still really like his team, so do check that video out. That will be coming out a little bit later on today if you're on the fence about picking up Tech Vegeta, but I still think he's very good and a very fun unit. His team's definitely fun. Once we got some of these Super Saiyans buffs with the anniversary and then like the Blue Evolution Vegeta ECA and stuff like that, like his team got a lot of really, really good options. So it was one of the things that was always kind of in mind when Saiyan Day happened at the beginning of the year and people were sort of deciding whether to summon or not. Is obviously on Global we knew what was coming out for the anniversary, and we knew that like Broly and Gogeta were going to be big buffs for the Vegeta team. So yeah, it's nice to see his team looking in a pretty good spot with some of these buffs that we've gotten. So Broly, as expected, going ham and taking out Frieza. And then here we are on the turn. I mean, should we just transform Vegeta here? I mean, he's got 657k defense, not exactly insane, but he's going to be perfectly fine here against full power Frieza. Grab the orbs for you, grab those for you, and then we should be all good. So we take a normal, we get the defense buff, we even get a dodge in there. Getting hit first means he gets the extra attack and also gets an action break. So no crit though, sadly. But yeah, 10 mil into an 11 mil. I finally have a second dupe for my one as well. So mine has, I think it has like 25 additional now. So there's another super into a 12 mil. And then, of course, Goten and Trunks, depending on how many procs they got for those 2 start of turn, 100% extra attack and defense, they should be able to hit relatively hard. Vegeta getting a 4th super, 14 mil. Big damage to Frieza. And then full power Frieza with the super. This should do double-digit damage, right? Yeah, we love to see that. And then Goten and Trunks, 19.1. pretty good. There's the crit. And the additional as well, up to 20.4. That might be him dead if they crit here. Oh, no crit. Well, there you go. So they're passive. They got a couple of attacks directed at them in the first turn, I think. But yeah, that's their passive fully built up now. Although, funnily enough, they're not dodging those attacks there. 53, wow. Well, unfortunately, despite the fact that we could transform Super Saiyan 3, Gotenks into a Super Saiyan 3, that wouldn't really do anything here. But I'm going to do it anyway, because why not? And then let's go ahead and actually get the Big Bang attack in here to finish off Frieza. But yeah, there you go. That is going to be the Gifted Warriors mission run. Definitely one of the easier missions. Yeah, pretty straightforward. This one shouldn't hopefully give you too much trouble as long as you have a decent selection of Gifted Warriors characters to use. But the next one is definitely going to be the toughest one, which is the Namek Saga within 7 turns. So we are going to go ahead and jump straight over into that one. Let me know how you guys got on with this one. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so last but not least, we are going to do the Planet Namek Saga mission. This is the hardest one out of all of the other ones. This is the only one really that took me multiple attempts to actually do. Because beating it with a Namek Saga team, 6 Namek Saga characters on the team, is not exactly difficult. It's more so the fact that you have to do it within 7 turns. And I feel like the team definitely could do with some more buffs to make that an easier thing to accomplish, because the fight has 5 phases, right? So to do it in 7 turns, you've really got to do the first 3 phases in 1 turn to give yourself that little bit of room to maneuver, so that for the last 2 phases at least you have 2 turns to actually win, because it's such a short space of time, like in the 7 turns. Even if you're picking up like type orbs with every unit every turn, you're not going to get the Dokkan attack on turn 7. So it's going to be very difficult, especially with the characters that are available for Namek Saga, to just blitz this event and like kill, you know, the final phase in 1 turn. Some things that will make it a little bit easier. Obviously, we have the LR Ginyu Force as our friend leader. So we have 2 LR Ginyu Forces, and then obviously AGL Ginyu to give the 200% lead. Because we're running a full Ginyu Force team, by having Ginyu as the friend, we can use their active skill on turn 3, which obviously gives them a massive buff as well as giving extra support. So that's going to help significantly. And then, of course, one of the big things will be sort of the RNG of like how many additional super attacks AGL Captain Ginyu can get. Because he can put out a pretty decent amount of damage in 1 turn if he's actually getting the attacks off. If we get turns like this where he just does 2 additional normals, then that's not what we need. And I'm not sure now if... Will the physical Ginyu Force LR finish off this guy? 8.4. They might need to crit, I'm not sure. Okay, well, they got the crit, so that's all good. And of course, remember that you also have to use no items. So you can't just pop one of those like 25% attack for 5 turns at the beginning or anything like that. You can, however, use support memories. So we are using the support memory for the Namek Saga. I'm definitely not going to risk putting this guy in slot 1, but I'm going to keep him on rotation for the links. So we can go ahead and do this. But yeah, we turn 3, so we can use the active skill. And obviously that gives them a buff, gives everybody else a little bit of extra support. This turn, I don't know if we will get the kill in 1 turn because of the Jace and Berta. Obviously, whilst they're here to provide a bit of support, like they're not really going to do much damage by themselves. And then, of course, the Tech LR Ginyu Force, they have type disadvantage. So if they don't crit, they're obviously not going to do like big damage. But we'll see how we get on. The friend Ginyu Force with the additional with the crit. 12 million for the Tech Ginyu Force. If they can crit here... Oh, man. If that had been a crit, that could have been some serious damage. They get an additional for 8.2, which also doesn't crit. Bruh. Because, yeah, with the additional super luck, either one of them really being crits, we probably would have finished them off this turn. So, now I'm already not sure if we're going to be able to do this in this run. Because, yeah, Jason Berta only getting 1 super. Alright, so we'll get the active skill with you. They don't stack, and the AGL Ginyu does, so should get him to attack first, really. And grab these, and grab those for you. But you can see, like, the Dokkan gauge, we're only just over halfway, but it's turn 4. So, you know, if we get to full power Frieza on turn 7, we're not going to have the Dokkan attack ready to go, unfortunately. And, of course, full power Frieza is tech. So while the LR Ginyu Force, of course, does get a buff against him, the AGL Captain Ginyu will rely on crits in order to do damage. But yeah, AGL Ginyu just getting additional normals here multiple times, very annoying. Alright, so AGL, Frieza, turn 5. I mean, if we could one-turn him here, that would be great. But I guess if we get you to attack first, you give everybody on the rotation an attack buff. So then we do this, and then, I mean, the LR, physical LR Ginyu Force doesn't have any links active, but they're not exactly here to be a hard hitter as it is anyway. So, let's see. Yeah, they're at 11. I mean, we could potentially do enough damage here. See, now they crit, but don't get an additional. Okay. And then the friend Ginyu Force, I think, has 2 dupes. So it should do some damage, but we should be fine. Yeah, we're not going to die. 16k is actually a lot less than I thought. 18.1 mil. Oof. Yeah, if they can get a crit and then additional off this, that could be a pretty significant amount of damage. Nice. 12.8 million. And then the additional is 11.8. Almost 12. And we get the crit. Oh, and they get an additional normal. Let's go. The friend LR Ginyu Force clutching it up. Because now we have 2 turns to kill full power Frieza. So I think we should be good. But yeah, you really do need, like, this is the only team build I've found that's been able to come close. And even then, you really do need to get that, like, specific RNG. Because especially here as well, like, Ginyu's going to have pretty decent defense. I think post-super, he probably does still live a super attack here from Frieza, but I don't know. There is the possibility that he doesn't. But I think we should be good. Both LR Ginyu Forces with their active skill up. They're going to do some decent damage here. And then we obviously have that 1 turn in hand. But yeah, you really need to be doing those early phases as quickly as possible. Like if you get to the 2nd form Frieza, or like you say you get to 3rd form Frieza, but you're already on like turn 5, then you'd have to get incredibly lucky with additionals and crits and all sorts of things, right, to actually have a chance to finish him off before, you know, actually get to finish off full power Frieza by turn 7. But you can see here, this rotation definitely doing a lot of damage. The LR Ginyu Force and AGL Captain Ginyu. Ginyu gets the crit. And see, now he gets all the additional supers. Now that we're in the clear and we basically don't need him to get all these additional supers now because we know we can just win on the next turn. Then he decides to go crazy. So funnily enough, Jason Berta will actually kill him here. So all the attempts that I had that I couldn't do because I got to turn 8 and he was still alive, and now we're going to kill him on turn 6. So you can see, like, you really do kind of need the RNG to go your way a little bit, but there you go, turn 6. So without the support memory, potentially would have still been able to do it in the 7 turns, but as the mission allows you to use the support memory, then yeah, I would say do go ahead and use it. But yeah, there you go. So that is the mission completed for the Namek Saga. We'll see the mission complete thing pop up here. There we go. So yeah, this was definitely the toughest one. One thing I will say is if you are struggling with this one, remember that we get a bunch of sub EZAs and the super EZA for full power Frieza coming out in a few days time. Then of course this celebration will most likely have a part 2 LR unless they decide to do diamond stuff instead. So there's the possibility that in the next couple of weeks we get a bunch more buffs for the Namek Saga as well. So it's not like you have to do this mission right now on the first day. If you are finding it a bit more difficult, the category is going to get some buffs. So that's all the missions done in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know down below what missions you guys managed to do straight away, any you struggled with, like potentially this one, and what team builds did you use. But yeah, all the missions done. Let me know how you guys got on in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.